Bienvenue. Welcome to the M&I's podcast. My name is Mark, and I'm joined by my co-host.
What's up, guys? It's Isaiah. Nice to meet you.
So we have a bunch of topics today, but before we begin, let me toss it to Isaiah for a few things.
All right, guys. First of all, if you haven't already, or if you're new, please consider subscribing, man. And leaving a comment. We're active every week. We're improving every single session, and if you like our content, or damn, if you even hate it, comment anyways. Subscribe anyways. We'd be glad to have you aboard our crew, so we can continue to entertain. This is like literally our our only line of income. I live in a box next to the library, and my Mark sleeps behind a trash can near the bus stop. So
Yeah.
uh, please help. We do our recordings at the library, and we edit in a nearby college, bro.
Yeah, for real. Like, there's this Airbnb I'm at, and I'm using their Wi-Fi right now.
I'm using my neighbor's Wi-Fi. So and hey man, it's also our source of mental stability. It's nice to talk about certain things, kind of settle down. I hope you're hydrated. I hope you have some water. And before we get into the nitty gritty, within the breaking news of today's world, um, every week we give you about three mental health tips to keep you afloat, because we know how hard it is to be a growing adult, especially since we don't make the best choices, all the time. But the good choices you do make will come from us. So here are some three mental health tips to help you boost your day. So this is from the Mental Health Association National website, and the first tip of the day is work some omega 3 fatty acids into your diet. You know those little big yellow pills that smell kind of weird.
Oh,
They
freaking fish balls.
Oh hell yeah! Like at sushi, you get balls on rice. It tastes like ass, but hey, those things, they are linked to decreased rates of depression and schizophrenia among their many benefits. Fish oil supplements work, but specifically, eating your omega 3s in foods with like wild salmon or flax seeds, it also builds healthy gut bacteria. So either have some fish babies in your in your rice, or you can take the supplement. You know, Either one of those. They taste disgusting, but less depression. Okay, and then the second one is practice forgiveness. This is a good one if you're in a relationship, or not. Just got out of one. I don't know what state you're in. Shout out to that. But even if it's just forgiving that person who cut you off during your commute, people who forgive have better mental health and report being more satisfied with their lives. Probably because they're not thinking about it all the time. Like thinking about that one chick way back in the day who no longer matters. No, I'm gonna tell you right now, that shit does not help. So practice forgiveness. Mark knows what I'm talking about.
Nicole.
Come join our podcast, please. I should call her.
If she does hear this, man, it will be so dead.
Oh hell no, Nicole, get the fuck out of here, bro. No, we don't talk about you no more.
Get your wee size eyebrows out of here.
The woo wee eyebrows. Oh, that's a story for another time. We can't do that here, but we'll put that up another time if when someone comments. But the last mental health tip for the day is smile, even though it's aching. This is copyrighted. I can only sing that much. So, if you're feeling stressed, smile. It may not be the easiest thing to do, but smiling can help you lower your heart rate and calm you down. Interesting note on this one. Dude, I was sparring last week with like this like I don't know, almost like 39 to 40-year-old dude, And dude, he doesn't even spar. He just straight up fights you. Like he'll hit you hard, and like he has some of like the worst like footwork that you can see. But dude, he hits hard when he lands, and like every time he hit me, it felt like, uh, if someone asked me what it feels like to be punched, there's like a smell. It's like a weird smell that enters your nose and it wakes you up bad. So when that happens to me, I just kept smiling. Every time he punched me, it felt like ass, but like it had definitely helped with the mental stress, and I was able to like, like slip here, slip there, get back around. Definitely helps. So if you're feeling stressed,
Hmm.
smile. Also, if you're sparring, literally spar. Don't try to kill the other person. You're trying to work with each other. It's a team effort. I'm not naming names, but it's a team effort, my guy. And that is it for the mental health section. And I'll give it back to you, Mark.
Yeah, man. Let things go, man. Just let them go.
And then you remember
Oh,
them about 2 days later, but then you gotta just gotta let it go again.
let it go, man. You'll be happier. You'll be happier. I
Yes, you will.
promise.
That's very true.
My girlfriend's giving me the weird look. She's like, "Who the fuck is Nicole, man?"
she's
No,
gonna
no,
she's
no.
gonna be shit about it later, dude.
Yeah, but so we got some breaking news
All right, here we go.
coming from the money team. So Floyd Mayweather might return to the ring. So an interview with Fight Hype via Twitter, Floyd suggested that he could come out of retirement for a sanctioned fight in 2022. He said, "I've got three more exhibitions this year. It could be one fight and two exhibitions. It is at least $200 million." So, what do you think about this news? If Floyd comes out of retirement, who do you want to fight?
Oh man, if it was, because I wanna. I don't know, the first part of the question is pretty simple. What do you think about this news? He's done it all. He is one of the best defensive boxers of our time. His use of the Philly shell and timing and spacing and answers to aggression. It's unmatched at times. So with him having exhibition fights, it's probably like the best thing for him. He doesn't have to give up his title or anything. He's just doing for the hell of it, just to fight, just to beat people up for money, and that's a lot of money, 200 mil, um, for some exhibition fights. Some people don't see that in their lifetime. And the second part of the question, there's actually two people, because since it's an exhibition match, weight can just fly out the goddamn window. Um, because he went against like freaking what's his face?
What do you mean,
Log
Tenchi?
No, Logan
Oh yeah,
Paul.
he did go
Yeah, he
Logan.
was he was way heavier than Mayweather. So if that's the case, I want to see an exhibition fight between Floyd Mayweather and Mike
My God.
Tyson.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Come on, it's the weight difference doesn't matter anymore. It's an exhibition fight, and
No, Mike Tyson like absolutely hates Floyd. He's gonna kill him, bruh.
Bruh, no, 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 no. See, that's the thing. That's the purpose thing. You got someone who wants to kill somebody, and then you got Floyd who is super elusive and just does
Size
exhibition
matters at
fights,
some
bro.
point, man.
Hey man, that's a fight that I want to see. It's like it's two of the goats at one point in their career, going at it. Why not? And if that doesn't happen, I'd actually want to see Anderson Silva versus Floyd Mayweather, because Anderson Silva's been doing some exhibition fights too, and he's not a professional boxer per se.
Right.
He's a professional MMA fighter. He has been, and Anderson Silva has done, I think, one or two exhibition fights by this time. Um, and so I would like to see that too. How about you, Mac?
Oh
What do you
man.
see?
Um, he said he wants two exhibitions and one actual fight. So what's
One
the one
actual
actual
fight.
fight? Yeah.
What the fuck? An actual fight
Yeah, with like an active fighter that will be sanctioned by boxing organization.
for Floyd
Yeah, for Floyd.
in his 40s.
Yes, in his 40s.
Huh. How uh, how um how heavy is he?
He the
144?
heaviest he's been is 154, but he
154.
normally stays around like 147.
Oh no, it can't happen then. I was gonna. He's too heavy. There
You can
was
say Canelo.
no no. There was a question that popped up way back, like I think when Lomachenko was trying to fight Rigondeaux, or maybe a little bit after that or before that.
I get Loma. Oh no no no.
No, no, no. Hear me out. Loma. Someone asked Loma, "How would you deal with the Philly shell style?" And Loma said he'd have to think about it, right, and come up with a plan. So if Floyd Mayweather was if Floyd Mayweather was around 140, then I could probably say that he could probably come down to 135. But if he stays around that range, 147, 148, and then usually it has a rate around 150, then no, it's not gonna work out. Um, an actual fight though? Oh man, that's hard because everyone is really really good now. Um, and they I'm trying to think. Let's think of something that Floyd would actually accept as an actual fight, though. I don't know, 140, 145. I can't think of anybody that would make sense, unless like a redo with Canelo. But I don't think that's a very smart move for for Floyd. Um,
Um.
yeah, can't think of anybody because
Hey, man.
Canelo's in his prime.
Yeah.
So
And he's at 168, and I doubt he's gonna go down to a 150 or 147 to fight Floyd.
I mean, it depends what Floyd's weight is now, like running around.
Oh,
Um,
him running around is 154.
mm, it can happen. I mean, if that's something that could happen, I don't think that's a very 50-50 fight for Floyd. That's a very once Canelo's a different monster before that fight. I mean, after that fight. So that's not gonna work out very well.
In terms of the two exhibition matches, um, I think an exhibition match with Manny Pacquiao,
Mm.
since Manny Pacquiao is doing some exhibitions too.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's thinking of scheduling one. I think that would be good for Floyd and Manny Pacquiao to do an exhibition.
Damn.
Uh, that would at least in itself already do 200 million in that one little exhibition between the two of them.
Oh yeah, at least a rematch between the two, and they're in different points of their life, so it's more fair than not. Sure.
Yes. So
Yeah.
again, it's just gonna be a chill. It would be like a chill sparring session between the two of them for an exhibition. The second exhibition I'd like to see, man, would be him and this other boxer named Amir Khan. Uh,
Amir Khan.
yeah.
I,
Again, there's been like when Amir Khan was moving up and Floyd was in his prime, there were people like saying, "Oh, Amir Khan would wash Floyd." I think it would be a good exhibition match to finally settle that case and see what would have actually happened, which I think Floyd would knock him out. Oh,
that or
guys.
just outbox him for 12 rounds or however many rounds an exhibition fight is. They
And
decide on.
yeah, I see that fight doing like at least 40 to like 100 mil in that fight.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see
For his
that.
actual fight, y'all have to ride with me on this one. It's gonna be McGregor, man.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were
Yeah,
talking
so
about that
like,
earlier.
yeah, it was from last week, and I'm like, yo, why would Floyd come out this week and say that he want to do one actual fight and have it sanctioned? And the only way I think of seeing that is him against McGregor, against Connor. You know,
Mm,
that $0.2 billion figure was floating around there. I'm like, yo, I'm sure the money team, Floyd Money Mayweather, saw that and was like, yo, you know what? I think I can do that.
I don't know. I feel like that's a waste of time. I'm not sure what I
It
said
would be
last week.
for Connor, not for Floyd though.
Oh, that's a what now? Sorry, I got cut off.
That would be a waste of time for Connor,
Yeah, I mean, cause
not for Floyd, because Floyd's already, you know, ingrained as the GOAT of being the best defensive fighter of his generation
true.
or in any generation. And to get money that's 1.2 billion, man, why not? Why not run that with with Floyd?
I don't know. I think I talked about this last week, but he should. I I feel like we're gonna
Yeah,
get the same outcome. Yeah, I said that last week. We get the same, just the same outcome, just different, different stage.
who knows, man? Uh,
Like
Connor has been getting violated by people. I think he might get hungry again. You know, who knows?
I don't know. It depends. His hunger is in a different place now. He has like different competitions to go after now. I mean, he's in the whiskey business now. You know,
I thought he
that's a whole
sold it.
different fight. Oh, he sold it. Did we talk about that? I
I
can't remember.
I thought he sold that.
I don't know. I still see his picture in like um, the local alcohol joint. So I don't know if uh, if he gave the rights up or not. Did he sell? Did he sell Proper Toe? Hold on.
I don't know,
Did
but
McGregor sell Proper 12?
I thought he did.
Oh yeah, he did.
Wasn't it like for like 100 mil or some
600.
or 600 mil, bruh?
Yeah. So Conor
What?
McGregor sells Proper number 12 whiskey brand in deal worth up to $600 million. Um, so UFC star and his business partners sold their majority stake in Proper number 12 Irish whiskey to Proximo Spirits in a deal that is worth up to $600 million. So
Hey
Proximo,
man,
yeah, Proximo Spirits already has a 49% stake in Proper number 12 Irish whiskey. Now it's a much bigger stake, the size of which is unknown still. So yeah, I think he did sell it, but I'm not sure how that affects like name brand appearance with Conor McGregor and whatnot.
well, me personally, right? If I was Floyd and I'm coming back to fight one like an actual sanctioned fight, it's going to be for the biggest payday of my entire life, for the
Okay.
biggest payday in boxing history,
No, that makes sense. That's true.
right? And Floyd always wants to go big or go home. So I
True.
could see that happening. Since he said this, the McGregor saying I accept post on his Instagram of him and Floyd boxing starts to make sense a little bit now. You know, you're like, oh,
Well, let's have McGregor go into the octagon a couple more times, and then maybe we could talk. Let him focus on one thing at a time because he focuses on too many things. I want a hungry Connor, not a silver sheet one for now.
all right, all right. So in the same interview with Fight Hype, right? Floyd Mayweather said the following about a fighter that he promotes, and that's Tank Davis. So this is what he said. He said Shakur Stevenson's a hell of a fighter. Haney's a hell of a fighter. But guess what? If Top Rank has Haney and Shakur, then they need to fight each other. Don't worry about Gervonta Davis. Let Tank continue to do what Tank is doing. Is this a good idea to keep Tank away from other contenders and champions? Will this affect his legacy? Should Tank fight Haney, Stevenson, Loma, Garcia, and Cambosos to secure his legacy as the best in his generation? So, what do you think, guys? What do you think, Isaiah?
Ooh, it's a good thing to keep Tank away from contenders and champions. Um, I mean, do you know what Tank is doing right now? Is he preparing for anything?
Um, I know that he did reply to Ryan Garcia on Twitter saying, "Be prepared" or "Get ready" or something like that along those lines. So I think he
Okay.
might fight Garcia next.
I, I'd actually, yeah, I would. I think in that light, I think last week I remember saying something that stylistically I'd rather see like Tank versus Haney's, Tank versus Stevenson, because it's a much more interesting fight.
Mhm.
Because you get to see two different styles. One has to do specific things to beat the other. Um, but in this scenario, now that I think about it, and where Haney's just fought, Stevenson has been pretty active too. Tank less active. I'd rather see him move up that way with with Ryan. That that in this scenario, with Ryan just getting back on the scene with a fight just yesterday, and with Tank being the call out, I could see that being a very fun fight. So I'd rather have that. That's not bad. Should he be to keep? Should he? Is this a good thing to keep him away? I'm not sure if that's the right question to ask. I would say it would be a much better fight after those two matches happen. So like, if Tank, for example, beats Ryan, and then Haney or Stevenson and the winner of that up against each other, that would probably make more money. So, um, will it affect his legacy? Uh, in a way, I guess it depends on how he does against Ryan and how he does against one of the two of Haney and Stevenson. And I definitely as Tank being an amazing knockout artist, I would definitely want to see him against Loma out of the bunch for sure. Just because I just want to see Loma work. I'm biased on that one, but I just want to see him fight Loma. Eventually, he's gonna fight Garcia anyway, and Cambosos. Maybe he's very similar to the way he fights. It's quick, it's fast, perfectly placed shots too when can. But top of the list for me would be Loma. What do you think?
Well, I don't think it's a good idea to keep Tank away from any of these other contenders and champions. Um, Even though Tank Davis does a lot of like good numbers and pay-per-view buys by himself, I think it would benefit him more if he fought, you know, Haney, if he fought Lomachenko, if he fought Stevenson, if he fought, Cambosos, Garcia, Teofimo,
Mm.
if he fought all these other people who are champions and top contenders in his division, right? That's how you test yourself against the very best to get the best attention and pay.
Oh,
You
dude,
know,
Ryan is the very best man.
shut up. Uh, will this affect his legacy? Um, yeah, if he continues to fight like the people we don't know from a boxing standpoint, like an Isaac Cruz, right?
Nah, I don't know much about him. Yeah.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
that would affect it because if he's fighting that, then he has never become an undisputed champion or even uh, a lineal champion or even holding actual belt rather than the belt he holds, which is he holds the regular belt or the regular WBA champion
Mm.
rather than holding the super WBA or the super WBC, which gets very confusing for a lot of people, and I have my own gripes about how the belts are made. But right, Haney is the undisputed lightweight champion
Mm-hmm.
because he has the WBC, WBA, WBO, and all the other belts underneath him. And he's a champion because he has that title. While Tank Davis, even though he is considered a champion, he has the regular champion distinction, which he thinks it suffices to have a legacy. But in my personal opinion, I don't think that should. And I think he should fight, the Haneys, the Stevensons, the Lomas, and all these other people in the world to really secure his legacy as the best, to fight the very best. And if you come out on top as the best, hey man, hats off to you. You deserve all the money you get,
Mm-hmm.
and you are by far the best in your generation. But until then, I think it would be the best for him to fight these contenders and not avoid them.
Got it.
Right. So, with that in mind, there's some spicy talk coming from Triple G.
Ooh.
Triple G is still on this train, but Triple G told the boxing scene that Canelo Alvarez, he insulted him in their press conferences, right? Called him an asshole, did all these this type of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Triple G responds and he says, I don't even know how to explain it, right? Maybe it's just some of the side effects from certain substances in his body. So, do
Oh.
you believe Canelo is on some substances?
Hmm.
Do you think Triple G has grounds to make these statements or accusations?
These can be flipped. Do I think Triple G has grounds for that? No, no one really does. I mean, unless you have been there and like you've done the you've done the test, the USADA testing on that. Um, no, not really. I mean, it's just banter at that point. I think it's funny. That's hilarious banter. Um, but if I do, I believe Canelo was actually on some substances. Um, I do not know. I think that him being on some substances would be a very bad idea, not just for his career, but for his image towards his country. Like in Mexico, um, like what do you call it? In Mexico, I'm having a brain fart. In Mexico, Canelo is just like he's revered there. You know what I mean? He is Mexico whenever he he fights. So I don't think he would take that risk personally. But do I know if he's taking on some substances? Dude, his body is huge. Maybe he could be taking breaks on it or whatnot, but there's no evidence to suggest that aside from tainted meat or something. So I don't know. Maybe more. Give me more evidence, and we can talk about that then. How about you, Mark?
Do I believe Canelo's is on something? Hell yeah, I do, bro.
What?
I'll be honest. Once a cheater, always a cheater, right? It just means now that you cheated, you're gonna try your very best not to get caught again. As me personally, does Triple G have grounds to make these accusations? Hell yeah, he does, bro. He was supposed to fight Canelo the second time, but they called off the fight because Canelo tested positive for a banned substance, and they postponed it. And they postponed it for almost 2 years, which is 2 years off of Triple G's prime at that point. which I think if they fought, Triple G would have won at that point. But yeah, but honestly, until Canelo tests positive for a substance again, I don't think he would be on anything. But me personally, I think he is. But because some of these outbursts, I'm like, why are you so angry, Canelo? You know? Well, why are you so angry? You got nothing to be angry at, man. You're about to beat up an old man. Why are you angry? You should be blessing this man, You should be blessing him. He's old.
He is really old.
And why are you angry? Why are you saying like you want to punish this guy? I'm like, this just imagine another like regular guy saying he wants to punish your grandpa. It's gonna be so bad. Right. So I don't understand why Canelo's so angry and
He's got to build up
coming
the.
from
He's got to build up
Triple
the
G
fight,
is
man. Everyone knows Triple G is old. You know.
yeah, but coming from where Triple G is, you always have that mindset like, oh, he cheated once, he's always gonna be a cheater,
Oof.
right?
Mm-hmm.
There's always that lingering thing in the background, like he cheated, he was caught with that banned substance, but now he hasn't been caught, you know, and whenever he punches me, it just feels a little different now. There's always that thought in the background that, these punches are only a result because he's cheating. So
Hmm.
again, there's that he does have grounds to make these accusations, but until Canelo tests positive again, then maybe Triple G's just trying to poke at him, saying, "Haha, you're a cheater, bruh. You couldn't beat me without those substances," type of thing. Which maybe might anger Canelo, but who knows? Maybe this are mind games Triple G's playing at.
That's what I'm thinking. It's just
Uh,
mind games at this point.
but yeah, I do believe he has grounds to make these accusations.
Cool.
Me personally. But there are more spicy talk coming from another clown. I'm not calling Triple G a clown. This person's a clown, though. So the clown himself, Jake Paul, not Ryan Garcia. This is a different clown.
Oh, it's a different
But
one.
Jake Paul. So Jake Paul told the MMA fighting that boxing is a dying sport. Here's what he said. Boxing is a dying sport. Before I came and saved the entire sport basically single-handedly. Fucking Tyson Fury's afraid to fight AJ. Fury's afraid to fight Usyk. This is why boxing is dying, because these fights aren't mandatory. Do you agree with Jake Paul's statement?
Ah, Jake. What you doing, man? Um, I. You can come up with better statements than that, man. talking to Jake, but that's just my 2 cents on that. I would say like boxing. Um, I would say more people that came into the scene were the people that made boxing back into like its dominative states in the market. People like Lomachenko, who changed the entire game of boxing. People like Shakur Stevenson. People like Tank Davis. People like oh shit, even Ryan Garcia. Like people are coming up and they're getting headlines. You even got people from like YouTube trying on boxing because like shit, you like the fight between KSI and Logan didn't really spawn like the best culture that is for boxing. But there's a market in that too. So no, I don't think that you did that single handedly in a respectful way. And yeah, no shit. Those fights aren't mandatory. It's not how that works. Especially if you're talking about like Tyson Fury, who is on the defensive end because he is the champion, and then same thing with Usyk. I'm not sure if he knows how mandatory fights work, per se. So yeah, what you got, Mark?
Bro, I'm about to jump out the window, man. I agree with Jake Paul in this statement.
What?
I do agree with Jake Paul in this statement. Um, I don't agree with him saying that he single-handedly saved the sport of boxing, but I do credit him for bringing attention to the sport from the casual fans. You know, the kids on YouTube are now talking about boxing and talking about Jake Paul boxing, right? I do agree with him saying, the big fights aren't being made, such as, AJ and Fury. AJ and Fury were supposed to fight before AJ fought Usyk. Um, and Fury announced the fight on his Instagram. This motherfucker announced the fight on Instagram that he's fighting Anthony Joshua in Saudi Arabia. And then literally 6 hours later, he signs a fight to fight Wilder for the third time. What kind of crap is that, man? Why say one thing and then do another thing in a complete same day?
Hey man, we gotta make more money, man. It's the entertainment business, bro.
What are you talking about? No.
Nah, man.
No, not only that, but then if you go further into it, right? There's a fight coming. There's another topic later on in the podcast that we're going to talk about that actually just like supports this statement. There are fights that are supposed to be made but aren't being made because of whatever reason is out there. Like like a fight that was supposed to be made really early on, which should have been made right after it, was Teofimo against Lomachenko. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Very close fight to some people. Except for that one judge who had it 119 to 108 for Teofimo, right? But everyone else had it very close. Teofimo won it by only 2 or 1 rounds compared to Lomachenko. And in addition to that, Lomachenko went on a tear by beating Teofimo's previous opponents and calling out Teofimo out to fight him. Right? That was a fight to be made, but then guess what? No. They have to fight. Teofimo had to fight a mandatory named George Kambosos. Guess what happened there? Rather than fight Lomachenko, he loses to George Kambosos. Right? There are fights that are exciting to not only the casual fans, but to boxing fans. And these fights aren't happening. These turn off the actual boxing fans as well as the casual fans. And we delve away from it and we go into the UFC because they have a structure that is easy to follow, and people who are main mandatory are the ones that we actually want to see fight, right? There is one that's coming up that we're going to talk about. But I do agree with Jake Paul in this statement that boxing is dying because the big fights that are supposed to be made aren't being made, all because of whatever politics is behind or whatever negotiation ploys that they're trying to do. Right? It doesn't make sense. So I do agree with him in part of his statement, but I don't agree with him saying that he single-handedly saved the sport. Right?
I don't know. I would say like it would depend on the. I'm curious now about the actual politics that go behind these sort of fights because, from a money standpoint, that doesn't make any sense. Like why they wouldn't make these fights happen unless there was something.
So it's like
Some kind of inner politics. Like I'm wondering about the inner politics that wouldn't make these fights happen.
so most
Um,
of the thing is, right? Tank Davis, one good example, right? Tank Davis, Floyd Mayweather, really early on in Tank's career, said he wanted Tank Davis to fight Lomachenko, and Tank Davis didn't want to fight Lomachenko. In addition to that, Tank Davis fights on a different network. He fights on Showtime, while Lomachenko fights on Top Rank ESPN. Um, the fights that we see on the UFC, they only fight under one network, and that's the ESPN. Uh, while other fighters like AJ, he fights on the Zone. While Fury, he only fights on ESPN. While Wilder, he fights on Showtime. So there's so many different networks, and they want to gain most of the profit from the fight.
Oh, I see.
So those fights can't be made because they can't agree on a price, nor can they agree on a cut. Because one fighter is from a different network, another fighter is from another network, and in addition to that, this fighter is fighting under this promotional group, which is Mayweather Promotions, while this fighter is fighting from another promotional group, which is Top Rank. So there is so much more at play in boxing than there is at the UFC. Because at the UFC, if you want to fight, you have one place to fight. That is under the UFC banner, under Dana White's promotions, under ESPN. So, one place, no problems. Again, it sucks that it's only one place because there's no competition. And whatever Dana White and the UFC wants to give you is what you're going to get. Unlike in boxing, there's so many different variety, but the problem is they can't agree on what it should be.
I completely forgot about the different promotions and
Yeah.
networks. I completely forgot about like how many difference and which fighters under which, because that's true. I've never seen Loma fight outside of Top Rank,
Yeah.
so that means
And yeah,
yeah.
and the another thing is in the UFC they only have one belt. In boxing they have the WBA, WBC, IBF, the WBO, the Ring Magazine, the Lineal Champion. They have so many belts
It's
that makes
kind
it
of
so difficult for a champion to fight another champion because they don't make them the mandatories. And I do agree with Jake Paul in that they don't make another champion a mandatory to unify for the other champion. you know?
I guess it's um no, like I remember now that you mention it, Mayweather was talking about this in an interview about the politics behind like the belts and how many belts and how many interim belts there are,
Yeah.
because like he said in an interview that if he wanted to, he could have a fighter out of his money team promotion and like set him up with certain fights that would get him those belts way easier than you think.
Yeah.
So it's I completely forgot about that side of politics in comparison to the UFC, where there's only one. So there's no the politics behind on that end, it's almost non-existent. You go up or down, and depending on like depending on the ranking, depending on the pay per view potential on it, then
Yeah.
yeah. So it's really easy in the UFC. But
Yeah.
yeah, I know, I agree with you there. I see what you're talking about now. But I don't agree.
Yeah.
But
So
I don't agree that boxing is a dying sport per se in general, due to a lot of other people coming onto the scene and making the fight more interesting. So
yeah.
yeah,
But in terms of, the big fights not being made and that's causing for like a slow decline in interest in boxing, I do agree.
yeah,
I do
I
agree.
agree with that. I agree with that.
Jake Paul, you were onto something, but again, choose your words a little bit better. But Jake Paul, again, he loves to talk. He loves to talk. So he wants all the smoke. So he is still on this hot pursuit to make a mega fight between himself and Mystic Mac Conor McGregor.
Oof.
The two had a heated exchange on Twitter. And so, right, I think I'm gonna pull this up really quickly so I can see it up. So give me a quick bit. Here it is. Load, load, load. So this is what Jake Paul said. It's gotta happen. That's 75 to $100 million for both of us. And Conor McGregor replied. He said, "You've got only two fights and you've done only $70,000. No, 70,000 buys. You are a flop kid, a nobody." Right? That's what he said.
Oh
So,
shit!
what do you think?
Damn.
What do you think about this, man? Do you agree with Conor? Do you think this fight will happen? This is crazy. This is some crazy talk. So, what do you think?
Ah man, I mean, Dana White was like again. Dana White was having a. Speaking of interviews, David White was having an interview about something like this in relation to Jake Paul, um, stepping into the UFC, or like having him go against someone in the UFC, and then Dana said, never say never, right? Because of money reasons, most likely, and if it can make um the money for it, uh, I don't see why not. I've been proven wrong before that high level MMA fighters can beat a YouTuber. I've done that twice now. I've been proven wrong. Um, and but I don't think I think Conor McGregor's like way too high on that tier list for now. I would say take that seriously first, and then Connor would probably take you seriously. Because right now, every time Connor like gives smoke to Jake Paul, he doesn't even have to try. He just does it, and they're just all right. So that's what I think.
Um, I think this is really smart from Jake Paul, man. Call out one of the biggest personalities on in MMA, like Connor. Have Connor reply to you. Connor's followers see that he's replying to you. Some of those followers don't know who you are. They become curious. Why is Connor replying to a kid, a YouTuber? Those people are gonna look into you. Chances are some of those people might buy your fights. So it's great promotion, self promotion, right? By calling out Connor. Um, do I think? Do I agree with Connor? Yeah, you know what? In terms of the grander scheme of things, you are not in the level of Conor McGregor. Um, but I do see what you're doing. It's pretty smart of trying to self promote yourself by calling out people like Connor. Do I think this fight will happen? I think it will happen under certain circumstances. Um, if you beat multiple boxers and you get ranked by a boxing organization, then hell yeah, it might actually happen. It might actually happen. It might garner some attention. It might actually create something. But you also have to account that if Connor has to do something, if Connor gets washed in his next fight, man, the attention to that fight won't happen. Won't be as much.
Hmm.
So the two of you have to play your cards right at the same time. Jake has to beat multiple boxers and has to be ranked in a boxing organization. And two, Connor has to beat multiple MMA fighters again, to garner that attention. And then this will become, yes, I think it might become a mega fight.
Mm.
But there has to be a lot of things that have to play to where it garners that attention and that media frenzy where people want to see this. Both of them are big personalities, so I think it will sell. But both have to prove to each other and to the rest of the world that this is worth it. You
True.
know?
Yeah, yeah, I can see. Otherwise, it's just gonna be a complete domination by Connor. That's
Yeah,
yeah.
dude.
So
So, we'll see, man. We'll see.
yeah, we'll see.
Um, so this is one of those. The next topic is aligns with what Jake Paul was talking about earlier about the strangeness of boxing politics. So the WBA has officially ordered Dimitri Bivol to defend his belt against Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. Um, I'm gonna toss it to you, Isaiah. Man, is this a good fight? What do you think about this?
Nah. Because when me and Mark go over the scripts, sometimes there are like some fighters that I have no idea, I've never heard about, and I do a little bit of research on to get like uh, a little synopsis of their style, their tendencies, just to kind of have like a scenario in my head on what that would look like. And I think that's like the main point of this. We are talking about this earlier about how like there are fights to make that make that want that seem to make a lot of money, but then all of a sudden they throw in these mandatories um within within the year. I mean, now that I'm looking at it, I gotta put like a sidetrack here a little bit. We didn't know much about Ferocious Cambosos until the Teofimo fight, which also was a mandatory. I thought Teofimo was gonna wipe Cambosos. I didn't know much about him. And then after Cambosos beat the shit out of Teofimo, then we started to know about him a little bit more and then respect the guy. Cambosos is nuts, man. I love him as a fighter, and the presence he carries around I appreciate as well. Straight Spartan energy, but we only got to know that because he was a no name. So um, Gilberto Zurdo though I've seen him fight like he's lanky. It's the best thing I can say is he takes hits, which is um, concerning. Like sometimes he doesn't really defend. He'll take a couple hits and then start moving his head, which is not like the best thing to do against Bivol, considering how his style is primarily ones and twos, and I'm not sure how it's gonna be a very interesting fight. It's not gonna make as much money as something like a rematch between between Canelo and Bivol, for example. Um, so yeah, I think that's the point of this question. Is it's why are all these mandatories? But I'll toss it over to you, Mike. That's what I think about it.
So one thing I realize is uh, Ramirez is he's in the same network as Bivol,
Oh.
and they both fight under the zone.
Mm-hmm.
And um, the fight that would make sense for Bivol is to unify with Better BF to become undisputed. But the problem is Better BF fights under Top Rank and ESPN. Same thing, right? Um, that's the problem. Again, the inner politics of of boxing that makes the fight that we want to see and the fight that makes the most financial sense doesn't happen because one fighter fights in this network, the other fighter fights in this network. So what happens? They just make mandatories up to fight each other, right? Better Biev, I think one of the mandatories he has to fight is Anthony Yarde or Anthony Yard.
Mm-hmm.
And now Bivol has to fight Ramirez. and there's been talks that he has to fight Boatsi, which is another boxer who fights under the zone. So they're going to just do that over and over again until, we get a situation like Teofimo losing to a person that we think they should wash. Right. And then it just crumbles that entire financial structure of that big mega fight. I don't think this is a good match.
No,
Like what
yeah,
Isaiah said, right?
this is either.
Very, it doesn't make sense to me. I would rather see Bivol fight against Beterbiev. Someone that we all could consider as another champion who has a different style, would be much more interesting to watch than uh, Gilberto Ramirez. So,
Yeah, I'm
and
gonna
if you guys agree or disagree with this statement, write it down in the comments below. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, please do. I'm very lonely. We'll answer your questions.
So, we have reached the segment of our show called Stupid Statements of the Week. And we have a lot of stupid statements. Like a lot. Like when I was writing this out for our script, I was so heated thinking about how stupid these people are. Uh, so we got to start off from the top. So, man, so the stupid statement of the week features the one and only Tyson the Clown Fury. Tyson Fury has completely flip-flopped from one extreme to another. So Fury earlier this year said he was officially retired after his last bout, which, Isaiah was like saying, "Yeah, bro, Fury never gonna come back." A few weeks later, Fury then claimed he will come out of retirement for $500 million, $500 million. And now, this week, Fury has told a crowd of people via Motley's Fool, which is like this huge event in the UK that he was partaking in, that he is willing to come out of retirement and fight AJ, but only if it's at the Wembley Stadium and if it's for free. For free! How you go from $500 million to free?
Damn.
So what's your take on this, man? What's your take on this statement?
I think the first one. Excuse me. Oh, fat yawn. Sorry. My bad. The the first statement, I would say it's more of a joke. I think, a little part of me would say that yeah, he's actually retired. So I'm gonna keep that little bit of hope to myself. That part was true, but first part's a joke. Second one, I would say that's more realistic. If we consider the first part a joke, I would consider the him wanting to do it for free for the UK fans. Well, do we have to pay for it because we're not part of the UK if we wanted to watch it? I mean, we'll watch it anyways, but do we have to pay for it, or like is it only a fight that's gonna be for UK? They're not gonna stream it or anything. That doesn't seem very lucrative. So not a very good idea unless you make it for everybody, not just UK fans. What's your take on that?
Man. So this literally happened like today.
Mm-hmm.
But Tyson Fury just gave an interview via Talk Sport, and he said that if Anthony Joshua beats Alexander Usyk, he will fight in England for free to air on TV It'll be watched by 30 million people for free, no pay-per-view, no money earned. We do this one for the fans in the UK. Right? That's what he said. He wants to do it for free for everyone in the UK. But in the same breath, this is what he says afterwards. He says, if Alexander Usyk beats Anthony Joshua, I'm just going to tell Alexander Usyk, get fucked, I'm retired.
He's running.
And it's going to be very costly for them to have me back in the ring to fight Alexander Usyk.
Oh my
Bro, if
god.
that is not a person who's afraid of Usyk, I don't know what
Bro,
is.
no, not just that. That's like that's a complete diss on Anthony Joshua. Like, so that just
Yes, that's a complete disc on
yeah,
Anthony Joshua.
that just tells
But
me that
also, it's so stupid to say that statement afterwards that you're not gonna fight Usyk.
yeah, that just means that you'd have to take Alexander seriously, and not AJ because he's a much easier fight to take on. That's just wrong, man. That's sad. I'm sorry, AJ. You had to hear that. Probably a nice guy.
Bro, either way, this is so stupid coming from this guy. Because one moment, 500 million. The next moment, I'll fight AJ for free. And in the same moment, he's like, nah, but Alexander Usyk, hell nah, dog. I'm not fighting you. You gotta pay me 500 million.
Ah,
How can
just
anyone take this man seriously, man?
I
This
don't
is
know,
just so
man.
stupid.
I'm sorry, AJ. I don't know. You didn't, I mean, I'm pretty sure you didn't want to get dissed like that today, but
No, it
yeah.
just absolutely boggles my mind that someone can do this one moment and another moment and then, tell people that he wants to have a bout with The Rock Johnson as an exhibition and in the same moment says he's retired, but also he doesn't want to give up the belt.
What?
This guy is absolutely a clown and absolutely the reason why I absolutely hate him as a person because he doesn't stick to one thing. If you really think AJ sucks, right? Beat the person that AJ couldn't beat, and that's Usyk. And then rub it in AJ's face. Like, oh, but then if Usyk beats AJ, you'll be like, I'm not gonna fight you. What is wrong with you? Dog?
Just
Shut the
just for
fuck
all you out
up.
there, AJ is um that is one of Mark's favorite fighters. So just just throwing that out there.
See, I like AJ as a person too, bro. I think he's a great man.
Yeah, he's an ambassador, bro. He's an ambassador.
Yes, but I don't agree with how freaking Fury doesn't want to fight Usyk, and he doesn't want to give up his WBC belt if he's retired, supposedly retired.
Yeah, I don't know why he doesn't vacate. They should vacate. If you had,
No, I think if he's retired, the president of that belt, the WBC, should strip him from the belt. Like how the UFC stripped Khabib when he retired, and they made Oliveira fight who was it? Poirier?
Justin Gaethje.
Was it Gaethje?
Yeah, that was for the belt.
Yeah, so have Justin Gaethje and Oliveira fight for that belt. Fucking the WBC should strip Fury so that AJ and Usyk can fight for that belt, and the winner of that fight becomes undisputed champion. Fucking easy, bro. Jesus. Fury, you idiot. Get the fuck out of here.
I don't
Stop
know.
saying stupid shit.
Boxing has like the worst politics. Not gonna lie. They make more money though. Just
They make more money, but it's so
shitty
few. It's
politics.
just so frustrating to see this type of crap.
Yeah, that's
But
unfortunate.
in the same breath, we cannot forget our boy Ryan Garcia because He did have a fight yesterday, and unfortunately, he won. Unfortunately,
Damn.
because I was literally telling Isaiah yesterday, I was like, if Ryan loses, I'm about to clown the shit out of this boy on national TV. I was gonna clown him on the air, but no, he won,
He did.
and it was a great body shot. Kudos to you, Ryan, for
Three
landing that body shot.
three downs. There was three separate occasions. Yeah.
Yeah, but he ended him with that nice left hook to the body.
Yeah, it was so hidden too. He feinted the top, and then like textbook, Fortuna guarded the top and then leave the bottom completely exposed.
Yeah.
So here's to him,
Here's the
man.
thing, man. Here's the thing. Ryan Garcia has stated that he doesn't need the belts to get big fights. He is a champion in his own right, and that he is no longer going to fight at 135. He is going up to 140, and this is his statement earlier. I'm not going back down to 135 for nothing, but I will fight Tank Davis next at 140. I'm going to record all the negotiations so you can't say I'm ducking. That fight's going to give me the respect I deserve. Where there's will, there's a way. Shut your bitch ass up.
At 140.
What do you think about that? You know, Tank Davis is 5'5", 5'4" on average, but 5'5" on a good day. Um, and he normally fights between 130 and 135.
Well,
Ryan Garcia wants to fight him at 140.
he's moving up,
Uh,
right?
he's moving up. Tank is
That's
not moving up.
Oh man. Then how are they gonna fight unless that's what he wants? He wants to force Tank to go up to with him. Why?
Yes. Which makes it an unfair advantage for Garcia against Tank.
Yeah, I think because isn't his running weight around that weight too? 140,
Yes. Yeah, he's
145.
like 140, 147 is where like Garcia's walk around weight because he's like 5'10". So I'm guessing he's like 140, 147 walk around.
Damn.
Maybe 150 if he doesn't take care of himself, you know?
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm gonna go first on this one. Motherfucker, this is the dumbest thing I've also heard today. One, you're saying you don't need the belts, that you're a champion already. Bro, you haven't even fought Devin Haney. You haven't fought George Kambosos. You haven't fought our boy Lomachenko. You're supposed to be his tune-up fight in October. Why are you running? Why are you running, huh? Why are you running? You heard Lomachenko's coming back. You running up to 140? You a pussy, bruh.
Bro, no. That's the plan. Yeah, that's the matchmaker's plan here. So he moves up to 140. Teofimo is is there. Goes to 140, and then Teofimo goes. If he fights Teofimo, Teofimo wins. We give that credit to Teofimo. Then the fight between Teofimo and Loma becomes a little bit more spicy because it's like a redemption arc kind of thing for Teofimo, and then Loma's been on a killing spree, probably in war too, so that's even better. So the story just kind of that's an interesting story. We just want Ryan to lose. I don't know why we're so salty.
Well, I don't understand how all these Instagram followers have gotten you hyped up thinking that you're better than what you really are. Dog, an actually like competent boxer who can time your speed is gonna knock you out. I can still see it when people hit you through your body, both of your hands come down. In addition, when you throw your left hook, your right hand comes down. If someone competent enough to catch and shoot is gonna hit you flush on that chin, bruh. I'm telling you, like, I don't know what's up with Ryan saying these outlandish stuff and demanding the most ridiculous things by saying Tank Davis has to move up to 140 to fight him. Bruh.
I
And
would,
guess what?
I would, yeah, if like,
Tank goes up, he's beating Ryan. He's
he's
beating
he's at a disadvantage in both height, reach, and weight, and he'll still win.
He's still gonna win. You know what? Bro, Lomachenko goes up to 140. He's still gonna beat Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, fresh out of war. Yeah, just that's the tune-up fight. He just goes up to 140, plus 5 pounds. Boom.
Bro, if Ryan goes up to 147, Loma's gonna go up there looking really obese and still beat him. Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh. But enough of the stupid clowns in boxing. There are also stupid clowns in the UFC. We didn't forget about you guys, you MMA fans. But Nate, the pothead Diaz, we don't know what kind of pot you're smoking, but you're definitely on something this week, said that the only noteworthy opponents he would like to fight would be Francis Ngannou, who is a heavyweight, or Adesanya, who's a middleweight, which is what Diaz told the MMA Hour. So, what kind of pot is he smoking to say such an asinine comment? And does he really want CTE that badly? What do you think, Isaiah?
It's probably like a, I don't know, like it's like a lavender marshmallow strain. Um,
I think he's smoking freaking methamphetamine
Oh,
to start saying this type of stuff.
I mean, I
Bro.
I don't see how those. Well, then again, I
Acknowledge
mean,
this, right? Think about it.
we'd have to understand like this is like I'm guessing this is his dream fights. I'm guessing his only.
No, this is the
worthy
only ones he
opponents?
wants. We're the
Oh,
opponent.
like not dream, like make reality kind of fights.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but
Like,
why?
Dana White has been giving him opponents that he should fight, and he's been turning them all down. He wants Ngannou and Adesanya. What in the hell is wrong with you, dog?
Like
Do you want to die?
I don't think that's gonna play out how we think that's gonna play out. That's
Bro.
bro. That's
Okay, so
Ngannou. Like you want to go against that?
Nate Diaz fights in the same weight class as, I believe, Kamaru Usman, right?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. That's,
Yeah. And Ngannou is, let's give him, I'm going to be very, very generous. I'm saying he's 250 pounds.
And he's heavyweight, right? Because then
Yeah, he's a heavyweight.
Yeah. That's heavyweight.
And Nate Diaz is, at best, I'm going to say 160, 170.
175, I think that's what Connor fought at. I can't remember. I think that's 170. Oh, 170. I think
Yeah,
he
and
fought at
then that's what
170, Connor.
also Adesanya, he's at 190, 200, around there. Dog, what the hell's wrong with you?
Hey man, you got dare to dream.
What, bruh?
Dare to be great, my guy.
No,
I'd
he
be,
wants CTE.
bro. He already has some form of CTE, but I'd rather see him if that fight were to somehow in the stars were to happen. I don't think it will, but Adesanya would definitely be the better of the two. He'd probably lose hella because
See him against Ngannou. I want to see.
you want to see him just die. I mean, like,
I want to see him get mauled. So this type of comment is like a great warning for people thinking that they're better than what they really are.
oh my god. I don't know. I don't know why he made those fights. That's a lot of weight gain for him.
Yeah,
Unless,
dude, that's like Ryan Garcia saying he wants to fight AJ and he wants to fight Canelo. Dog, you're about to get dead. You're getting a body bag, bro. You're
Like-
leaving that ring in a body bag. You're not leaving that ring standing on your feet.
like weight makes a huge difference, especially
And UFC.
in a lot of things.
bro. Just imagine you. I don't think your grappling can submit Ngannou.
No, he's. Oh well. Okay. If if Ngannou has good ground defense, I think he does.
Of course he does.
I can't remember quite remember if he uses it a lot, but because in primarily in the sport of jiu-jitsu, that's what jiu-jitsu is really good at, is when you have like a smaller opponent versus like a larger one. Those matches have happened before. There's like less of a weight uh there's less of a weight necessity in jiu-jitsu,
Uh
because
huh.
you could definitely pull off being smaller, especially with weight distribution and speed. um but if you consider the other factors, like punches, kicks, defensive capability, elbows, yeah, wrestling, yeah,
Bro, just Francis Ngannou's one right hand is gonna fuck you up.
bro, that's a literal truck with 5 fingers and like a palm. That's
Adesanya has such length, so you
He's lanky.
not
Dude
only
is
that, but
lanky.
even if you go down, he's not gonna chase you down and ground and pound. He's gonna let you get up, and then he's gonna whack you again.
Yeah,
So
he will rather like have you get up. I don't think he's gonna go on the ground with that one even. I think he
no,
has to.
neither is
Yeah.
Francis. Neither is Francis. He's just gonna whack you, and then you're probably gonna get knocked out, dog.
Dog, CTE.
So if you don't want to fight under the UFC and you don't want to fight anyone that Dana White is gonna give you, just say that without having to say that you want to fight Ngannou and Adesanya, which is maybe 2 to 4 times your weight.
I'm
Stop it.
I'm honestly really curious why he picked those people. It's probably because they make more money. That's probably what it is. It's probably because they make more money than
He's
what
supposed to buy
Dana.
more pot and crack. Bro, stop smoking.
Bro, it's the lavender marshmallow strain, my guy. You tried it before?
Bro, I'm sure he got that stuff from Walter White, man.
Jesse, what the fuck do you mean? They're two weights above class, Jesse.
So, yeah, Nate Diaz went on something because whatever he was smoking, weed or crack, he had some things to follow up on his interview at the MMA Hour.
Oh shit.
And
Okay.
this is what he said about Khabib. Khabib is an effing little bitch. Two, who'd he beat for the title? He got Poirier and Justin Gaethje. They both been finished off over and over the same way that he beat them. It's like you ain't no good. You're a scared fighter, scared of fighting the whole time, and now you're in the Hall of Fame. Man,
Damn.
does it seem like, Diaz is smoking crack or drinking a cool glass of haterade with these comments? What do you think about these stupid comments, man? Like,
I like that. That's some haterade. That's a knee slapper. But that's just, I don't know. That's just disrespectful, man. I unless you want, like, why would you say those things publicly unless you wanted to fight Khabib, which is, I think, the point. Damn, Dia. I'm wondering how much, like, what kind of fights is Dana promoting that's not worth it for you to make statements in order to hopefully get more money, like, out of a fight. That's my question.
we about to talk about what kind of money Dana's giving these
Oh
fighters.
damn. Okay, so
but
but yeah, I that's just disrespectful because it's much the better statement would be that could be ran through rosters plural, and he did it with one style and no one was ever able to figure that out. Nobody. That's more accurate. That's really retarded. That's a retarded statement. sorry,
um,
sorry, Nate.
Man, Nate Diaz. I think it's not just disrespectful to Khabib, but also disrespectful to Gaethje and Poirier, man.
Oh yeah.
Uh, it's also, hey, man, those two are arguably really great, right? They're great fighters, both of them. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and both of them are very well rounded. You know, Poirier can submit you. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's great at striking. He's great at wrestling you down. So Gaethje's great at striking, and he's great at takedown defenses, right? Um, but to say something stupid like this, it just kind of makes me wonder, like, are you that much in a financial need to get a fight?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Like,
Like,
geez, like,
damn.
what is Dana White saying that you should fight like one of the security guards at the UFC events, and he's gonna pay you 10 grand? Like, what's going on, man?
I don't know, man. That's what I'm thinking. Like, damn, we gotta make these statements unless you're really
Why are you
down there.
going? Yeah, why are you going like for Ngannou, Adesanya, and now Khabib? Are you that desperate, bro?
Probably. I mean, those are big names.
Go for start up a GoFundMe account. I'll toss $5 your way.
God
Uh,
damn. Then I need it back after. I need it for the bus ride that I live by.
but
Oh
honestly,
shit.
dog, you don't need to hate on Khabib. Why are you
Um,
hating on a person who no longer wants to fight and who's out of the fighting game? If
I
you
don't
want to
know.
hate on Connor. Hate on that man. I'm sure Dana White is gonna throw you that fight
Oh yeah, for
between you and
sure.
Connor, and then you guys can make a fight. Isn't that would be a good what? Haven't did they have a trilogy yet? I don't keep up with.
No, they don't. But I would say that would be kind of a tune-up fight, but the weight is too big. Because Connor's coming down. Actually, you know what? That's an interesting tune-up fight, because Connor is stupid heavy right now, right? And he's trying to come down.
Yeah,
So he's trying to come down, and if he's coming down, why not stay at like 170 a little bit and then fight Nate for a tune-up and then go down even more to like 155
yeah,
or wherever you want to be at. Or maybe he could even stay at 170. He looks more comfortable at a heavier weight
yes,
than
bro.
155. So shit, yeah, that's a great tune-up fight, Connor. Go for the trilogy. I mean
Yeah, just
yeah,
go
first one was a submit, second one was um a
vision.
split decision. So yeah, it makes sense. I don't see why not.
So again, Nate Diaz, don't go after these people that will actually give you CTE, break your back, actually murder you. Go after Connor, man. This man has some iron in his shins.
Bro, let's test out the
Got
titanium. I want to test out the titanium. Let's do it. I want to see it.
has the titanium on his forehead, bro. Give him more CTE.
Bro, wouldn't that be illegal? Technically, he has like a freaking rebar in his leg that makes it like insanely strong.
Hey,
So
man.
he
It
could
is
just
what it is.
he could just whip it and like it wouldn't do anything. So I'm
No, no,
curious.
no. Every time Nate tries to throw one of his leg kicks, Connor just checks it and just snaps his leg. Snaps Nate Diaz's leg.
Like right
Trying to
after,
kick him.
yeah, right after. Like, dude.
Yeah, and bro, don't Nate. You're really great. You're a really great fighter. I'm not trying to disrespect you in any way, but don't call out Ngannou, Adesanya, and Khabib. The three of them will not fight you. All right?
Bro,
Call out
they'll
Connor.
fuck. They will fuck.
Call out Connor. You know what? Call out Poirier. Call out people in your division. Bro, you fight in the same division as Kamaru Usman.
No, actually, no,
Call
correction. What do you call those people like Poirier? They are in a lower, I believe, a lower division than
okay, but
where he is.
call out yeah, call out Kamaru Usman
There
since
you go.
he's in your division.
There you go.
Right?
Kamaru Usman is in this division.
Call those guys out. Come on. Stop saying these things that won't happen. And if it does happen, my God, I pray for you, my guy. I
Me too,
hope it's a
buddy.
fast, quick end.
I hope he's. I mean, he can take some punishment. To be real.
No, no, this type of punishment is like life-ending punishment, especially in Ganu.
Or even Kamaru. I don't know. Kamaru Usman would. Oh yeah,
No,
even Kamaru Usman.
especially Khabib. Khabib is the type of person you don't want to really mess with because he's the type of guy who's like, I will fight you anywhere.
Send me a location. Send me a location. Where is location? Send me location.
Yeah, but that is the end of our stupid comments, stupid sections, stupid segments, stupid statements of the week. I thought I was having a stroke. It's like CTE.
Trying to say
Um,
Gilberto.
Gilberto Zobdo Ramirez.
Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. I got that part. Just dude, I was having like the hardest time reading that fighter's name. Gilberto. Gilberto. Gilberto.
Yeah,
I was having a
but
stroke.
so yeah, we're moving on to other news, and I'm gonna toss this to your boy Isaiah to lead this on.
All right. So in other news, we're gonna be I believe we mentioned this before in like an earlier podcast, but we're kind of changing up the sections. We're trying to make them a little bit more clean so that at least we have a clear like direction. First off, we start with breaking news and then some like stupid statements, and then maybe we'll switch out some segments here and there. But other news is probably what we'll cover a lot of the MMA news that comes out. It's a perfect place to put it. Nice end to the fight and where we're going. Um,
Mm.
and this is like one of the most breaking news that I found recently. And I'm pretty sure everyone knows it by now, but Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev has been greenlit. It has been confirmed for October 22 at UFC 280 in Abu Dhabi. Now this is good shit here. This is fight. This good fight right here. When we were talking, yeah, like when we're talking about how boxing has trouble with mandatories and like not making the correct fight, dude. Dana knows and their team knows how to make fights, and this is the one that I will be looking for this entire year. Is this one right here? So, who do you have winning this fight, and by what method, Mr. Mark?
Oh man, this is so hard. This is really hard. A lot of the fights in the UFC, I can like see a clear winner sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
but this one I can definitely say is a 50-50 fight.
Fuck.
Um, both have such incredible capabilities of dealing damage to the other, right? Charles Oliveira is a phenomenal striker as well as a phenomenal submission artist, while Islam Makhachev is such a great pressure fighter, and he is the protege of Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Oof.
And this would be the the closest thing we could see um, between Khabib and Oliveira if it ever did happen.
Yeah. It's
And
I would say sorry to cut you off, but this is like the closest we'll ever get to Khabib versus Tony Ferguson. So
shut up. Actually, that's in the next section,
oh
but
shit.
oh, the ball, bruh. But honestly, Islam also can submit, but not to the level of um, Oliveira. I would have to lean. I'm gonna go with my gut instinct and say Islam will win this by via ground and pound.
Hmm.
Um, I'm sure Khabib and his team will prepare Islam for Oliveira's very tricky style, as well as very submission heavy style.
Mm.
Um, because one thing I noticed about Oliveira is when you hit him, he goes down. And the thing is, this is not like boxing where those go when they go down. That's a great round for you because if he goes down and you go down with him, he has the ability to catch you and you're donezo.
Hmm.
But I feel like Islam will be aware of that and will take every single freaking precaution. And I'm sure Khabib's gonna have him wrestle a bear or some shit like that to prepare against Oliveira, or have him wrestle with an anaconda or some crap. Um, which I think is gonna happen. Islam's gonna ground and pound third round.
Hmm. That's. I'm trying to think of anyone who had a really good jiu-jitsu ground game and wasn't able to hold up against Khabib. Um, because I would have said Dustin Poirier because Dustin Poirier was the closest that anyone ever got to submitting Khabib in a Darce. I believe it's either a Darce or a
No, he had a guillotine.
he had either a guillotine, but if he turned it, it would have turned into what's known as a Darce. Um,
Yeah,
but like Charles Oliveira's ground game is on a it's on a different level. Like not just like 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu Tony Ferguson level. This is tested against 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. This is different. I don't this is I forgot the name of his gym. Champion Box? Something boxing. I forgot what it's called. Something in Brazil that I can't quite remember the name of his gym, but if Dustin Poirier was the closest that we ever got to groundwork against a really good all around fighter like Khabib, placed into Islam Makhachev, I'm gonna have to put my money on Charles, even though I could see Charles failing to uh, hold the insane pressure of that Dagestan level wrestling. Um, because we've seen other fighters go against Khabib try to stuff it, or they try to catch him with a knee or something. It's he always has like the perfect timing and perfect placement of fakes and feints to get in fast enough to where that you're just on his ground game, his game at that point. 50-50, but I'm gonna put my pennies into Charles Oliveira on that one. By by submission, by submission, I would say. I'll go on a limb and say submission or
what
points.
round? What round?
It would have to be early because they both have a gas tank, but
I feel like Islam has like a bigger gas tank. That guy can go all day.
yeah, but we haven't really seen him. Have we seen him go the distance before? You know, he's it's always been like some sort of submission
Or ground and
or ground
pound
and pound.
TKO.
Yeah. Shit. I would have to say probably round. It'd have to be round two or three, for sure.
Yeah,
More likely two or three, where a submission would be more likely because Islam would have not been used to Charles' ground game by at least round three. So hopefully by before round three, somewhere around two, early three, then Charles Oliveira has the advantage on that one. After that, ground and pound can just wear someone down for like the whole time. So
yeah.
yeah, that's I'm gonna go with Charles in that one. We'll bet on that when that comes on, but Charles Oliveira on me.
Hey, bro, if you guys want to see that bet, subscribe so you can get some money.
Please.
Because we broke.
Sorry, singular income, bro.
Yeah. But, man, on to the next topic, man. What's the next one?
Okay, so do you want me to keep going through these and just have me ask you? We can do that.
Yeah.
Got it. So, on the same vein as Khabib versus Ferguson, so Tony Ferguson tweeted the following. Do you have the tweet on that one?
Yeah.
Go ahead and pull that up
I
and read
got
that
it
for
right
me.
here. Hold it up. So, Tony said on June 11th, hey, fathead at Team Khabib. You done binge eating that tiramisu yet? You run your mouth more than the treadmill. Man, I just have to say this. It really sounds like Tony has CTE when he like tweets.
This is before you even met Michael Chandler. He still tweets like this. Why is it so cryptic? You know?
I know. So you run your mouth more than the treadmill. Quit bitching and sign on the dotted line so I can outwork you. Again, 29-1. And this comes from the announcement. They're getting closer to the Ferguson versus Khabib in the tough season, which is on ESPN.
Hmm.
And the question is, will we finally see this happen? Tony v. Khabib. After years and years of misfortunate mishappenings from Tony shattering his freaking knee from walking.
Man, maybe this is the plan. Maybe like it's within the universe's plan for them to meet on Tough and hash it out at the end. Maybe. Where are they gonna show Tough though? Because it's gonna be like in a series, right? Because it's a series of fighters being
Yeah,
coached
so
by a MMA professional,
yeah.
and so you know what I mean. Like maybe towards
Shit,
the
guys.
end.
High key, if you want Isaiah to go on that,
Oh
uh,
fuck no.
tweet that out, man. Garner support by subscribing to our channel.
Yeah, if
um,
we reach $500 million, if we reach $1 million,
yeah, bro.
yeah, I'll go on
Yeah,
Tough.
have- just have Isaiah go in there, and he'll show you his jujitsu skills.
I'm so fucked.
So,
Oh shit.
but yeah, man. Who do you think will win?
Um, I do want to say Khabib, but I'll also be really sad if I say Khabib because Tony Ferguson did really good in the first round against Michael Chandler. It's just that he just got absolutely nailed on, with one up kick, and I'm pretty sure that's like the saddest shit to ever experience, to work that hard only for it to end like that, and then his ground game has been tested and failed twice against the some other guy that I forgot his name, and then Charles Oliveira on the ground with an armbar. So, and he said in an interview that he was ready to give that arm up. So it's not like there was any defense for that. I'm not sure there was a defense for that at that point. But I'm up to go with Khabib on that one, even though he's like he's he's on the heavier side now, and he's more chill, bro. He can turn the switch on. He's gotta switch it on. So
Personally, I think Khabib's still gonna violate this man.
yeah, I'm just trying to be nice about it. I don't. Yeah, Tony is against Khabib in that regard. I don't. I think we got our answer already from multiple types of fights. So,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Earlier on in college, I remember Isaiah was talking so spicy about Tony, like he would submit Khabib, this and that. He's gonna use his elbows. He's gonna cut Khabib, bruh. You're finally gonna see this, and an out of shape Khabib is still gonna like violate Tony Ferguson.
Oh, I don't know, man. I just hope Tony's alright, man. He works hard, but
It's hard.
anyway, we'll start moving on. I'm getting sad, you know. Just Khabib, just gently, okay. Thank you. Um, Dana White. Um, okay, so on the same vein of UFC, Dana White gave Kyle from Nelk $250,000 in cash for his birthday. Damn. And the entire MMA world started demanding that Dana pay his fighters. Dana White does not even pay his flyweight champion that amount. So, Mark, what do you think about these claims?
Man, they took down that tweet. I was just trying to look for it. But yeah, man, it was on Twitter. It's been all over the place, man. There has been like rumors that Dana White pays very little to his fighters. A lot of fighters, like Jared Cannonier, says that he wants to get paid, and that's why they're taking fights like multiple times a year. And to see Dana White just give this guy named Kyle from Nelk 250K in cash for his birthday, when there are fighters out there like Nate Diaz who's like saying some outrageous stuff like wanting to fight Ngannou, you just have to sit back and you realize you're like, how much are you actually paying these people? Like, why is Francis Ngannou saying that he's only getting paid $500,000 when he's the undisputed heavyweight champion in the world? You know?
Damn. I mean, well, who is Kyle to Dana White though? That's my question.
Exactly. I don't know who this person is.
And
I don't
what's
really
what
delve into the private life of Dana White.
what the hell is Nelk? Why should it be like his nephew or something?
Probably might be, but
Um,
the crazy thing is like these fighters are, taking years out of their lives getting hit in the head, kicked in the head. I'd rather get submitted than getting kicked in the head, shin to the dome. You know,
oh, it's
I would rather get submitted. Yeah, it
um,
was tough, but I'm not getting damage to my head though.
I,
So
I'm, that's true, but I'm still trying to ponder like who Nelk is, right? And so
yeah,
I just looked it up, and like Nelk is like a YouTube channel, and the I guess Kyle is is like the lead person of this
uh,
YouTube channel. I'm not sure how they're related or have a relationship with Dana White. So
maybe friends or family friends or something like that.
it could be, but
But dead ass, if you're my friend and I gave you that, man,
bro,
I'll be dead ass. I wouldn't even give Isaiah $250,000. You can buy somebody. Let's be honest.
bro, $250,000. That's a lot of money. Some people don't even see that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, bro, that's
I don't know.
crazy.
I don't know. But going on to our last news, um, concerning concerning MMA, and of course the last one that gonna talk about today. Before I do that, go ahead and subscribe, guys. We're we're currently and continuously, that's a better word. We are continuously improving the formula, and give us a few times around this, and we're gonna have a solid formula for you guys, giving you entertainment every single week on MMA, boxing, and some general news as well when it comes up. And we hope to see you. We hope to see you in our subscription box, so I can afford lunch tomorrow. And so our last news for this segment is someone on Twitter tweeted the following, and you can go ahead and pull that up for me, Mr. Mark.
So it just says here from Revival of Saint SFM. He said that Oliveira's 3 title fights are way more memorable than Adesanya's entire title reign.
Damn. So, do you agree with this, Mark? What do you think?
I completely 100% agree with this. I'll be honest, man. I
Oh
think maybe
man.
one fight that Adesanya did have that I was pretty entertained was him against Paulo Costa.
Yep. I was thinking the
I
same thing.
think that was about it.
Oh, okay, no, two. But it wasn't. It wasn't for like a belt or anything. It was. It was Anderson Silva.
But no, if we're going on the base on this person's tweet and its entire title reign, outside of that, yeah, Adesanya has been in a lot of like memorable fights, like him against Anderson Silva. But during his title reign itself, yeah, it's not that many. I'll just be honest.
I mean,
I mean, Oliveira's
yeah.
3 fight with Gaethje.
That's true. I can't think of anything that is memorable. I would say his walkouts are more memorable than the actual fights sometimes. But
Some of the stuff that John Jones tweets about Adesanya is much more memorable than Adesanya's
doesn't
fights.
mean Adesanya is bad by any means. It's just that the way that he fights when he's on the defensive end and has the belt and doesn't have to strive for the belt. I believe we had this like discussion a week before and a couple weeks back, but um he when he doesn't go for the kill a lot of the times it's really boring to watch. So hell yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with you. Oliveira's 3 title fights are vastly more entertaining. And just Oliveira's improvement as a fighter as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
just the and his style too. It's it's dirty but it's clean at the same time. Like if you're on the ground with him and he has you in if you have him in guard. So if you pull a full guard on him, which means that he can't move his legs, but he's able to move his upper body and your back is towards the canvas, he will like wipe his hands on your eyes and your face and your nose so you can't breathe. And then when your arms are just out of reach of his arms, he'll just elbow you, and then he'll go back. He'll use his elbows and his hands, and he's like the type of person to put his hands like on your head and then like um and hit. So it's dirty, but it's so clean. It's so interesting, and his guard is nice. When he's standing up, he's an exciting fighter to watch. Very complete fighter. Um, and for Adesanya, uh, as of
Oh,
recently,
you know what?
his fights have just been defensive. Put it that way.
You know what? In Adesanya's defense, Oliveira is in a division filled with absolutely talented and exciting fighters.
True.
You know, fighters like Poirier, Islam, Chandler,
Justin Gaethje.
uh, Gaethje. While Adesanya is in, I'm not gonna disrespect all the fighters up there, but it's not to the excitement that Oliveira's in.
That's true.
They're not more they're not aggressive like the fighters in Oliveira's division.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's to Adesanya's defense, which it's not his fault that his division is not filled with talent like Oliveira's is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the one detriment is John Jones in his division. There weren't that many equal to his skill, but yet he still made it exciting by doing things that made it a disadvantage for him in that fight. But he
Mm-hmm.
still did it just to get garner the excitement of the crowd,
Mm-hmm.
uh, which is what makes John Jones such a thrilling and exciting fighter to watch. because he has all the advantages in the book, man. He has grappling, he has submissions, he has striking and everything under the sun. Right? He
PDs.
has and he he literally has like everything, man, even the PEDs. But he also has like a stacked resume, man. He's fought so many Hall of Famers in his resume,
He does. He did.
and he's beaten all of them. And
Yeah.
it's just a shame that Adesanya doesn't want to engage or anything, which it's interesting to me because like after he lost to Jan Blachowicz, he became even more defensive than what he already was. Which I was like, bro, it is what it is, man. But you don't have to become scared of losing.
Yeah. I don't.
You-
I don't know, man. Honest, maybe it's just a stylistic matchup, and you're right. Maybe it's just the people he's fighting. Could be
Yeah.
that because it was really
Oh,
exciting to watch Adesanya versus Paulo Costa, and then just have him hump Paulo Costa at the end. That was pretty dirty. So
no,
man,
but
he got laid out that day. So, but yeah, I
yeah.
mean, hopefully we get to see Adesanya more like active against more challenging fighters too. But he is on the defensive end. He is the champion. Someone either has to come down or go up to make it interesting. So maybe he can go up too, perchance. Hopefully he can fight someone as
Oh, you know what? Here's a thought. Since you did mention Adesanya versus Anderson Silva,
mhm.
when Anderson Silva was really old already, but
Yeah.
who would have won between Prime Adesanya and Prime Anderson Silva?
If Adesanya did not have such a large library of Adesanya's of not Adesanya of Anderson Silva's tendencies and fight mechanics, then I would have gone for Anderson Silva in his prime, because the one of the main reasons why, not saying it's the only reason, but one of the main reasons why Adesanya was able to do so well against Anderson Silva, aside from the age, is because he watched Anderson Silva growing up. He knew a lot of Anderson Silva's tendencies. He said it before in interviews that he's seen when they were fighting. Anderson would throw this, and then that, and then Adesanya would just dodge the third, would just read it and just dodge it and fire back. So that's why that fight was the way that turned out, in my opinion. Bigger library, bigger, and then the not weight difference, the age difference as well. Um, it was more of a passing of the torch type of fight between the two. But if it was prime Adesanya versus prime um, versus prime Silva, I will go with Silva on that one. Very elusive. It's a
Yeah,
very
he's
interesting guard too. It's um, he does like this Win Chun shit, but then like if it goes like the right angle, like he's open for other angles too. That would have been exciting to watch. But you know, we got what we got though. So that is the that is the end of our MMA other news segments. If we have any like cool other news from the outside aside from the fight game, let us know, dude. We'll add it into the next podcast along with my McChicken that I'm hoping to get from the from the revenue, please. And another news that I could bring up is that uh, because of my location, we did just come by Hurricane Darby, I believe that's the name was, but just kind of missed us entirely. But that's cool.
wait, what? What?
Yeah, the Hurricane Darby, right? Yeah,
I've
that's
never heard of this. What
yeah.
is
No, no, it completely missed us. That's why no one talks about it.
okay? Because I was like, Hold up.
Yeah, Hurricane
That ass
Dante.
guys, that I'll be honest. Like I don't keep up with the news anymore. Primarily, when I was in college, my professor told me he's like to live a happy life, just stay away from the news.
True.
You know,
It's too.
it stresses me out when I read stuff.
That's very true.
Because, yeah, because like coming from my background and uh, with my degree, it's kind of like second secondhand nature for me to go on a very deep dive into the news, and it just gets more depressing and depressing as you keep going. Uh, so yeah, I tend to stay away from that. But if you guys want to hear that and you want to see me depressed, then let us know in the comments section below.
Oh, of
I'd be
course,
more
man.
than happy.
Trust me, Mark hasn't eaten in like 2 days, and I haven't like. I've been drinking from the water fountain down the street for the past week, bro. Please let us know. Comment, give
Yeah,
us
bro.
anything.
He takes a shower. He takes a shower from his girlfriend's pee.
Bro, hey yo, chill. Hey yo, what? Hey yo, Mark drinks the cum jar from the fat guy down the street. Wait, we want to talk
Yeah,
about that?
the great skin moisturizer for me.
Yeah,
It's how I
it's
keep
disgusting.
my skin so silky smooth.
Oh hell, fuck no, yo. But
Yo, Isaiah, you know what Isaiah does to keep his good looks? He likes to drink the feet sweat from his girlfriend after the long hikes.
bro, the oh, if you haven't noticed, this podcast ain't for kids, bro. If you're like 12, comment, subscribe, but get out of here. I'm sorry, this ain't for you, buddy.
Yeah. I think, yeah, if you want to hear more of our gross takes, we can add that section below. What kind of nasty things could we talk about?
Bro, we bring it up and then we'll talk about it. Uh,
Wait, Isaiah, didn't you eat your girlfriend's ass and you got like pink eye?
bro, didn't you like? What the fuck? So I had to like process that question. Yes and no,
Wait, you did eat her ass, right?
bro.
But you didn't get pink eye.
Bro, you gotta be surgical with that shit, man.
Ah,
You gotta
all
be
right, all
surgical
right,
with it.
all right. Cool. Wanted to know. Just wanted to
Oh,
know.
of course. Don't worry. We'll that's the surface level, guys. We'll go deeper. Don't you worry.
Yeah, we'll go deeper in that. Like, if you want to hear like really some gross perverted things,
Bro, we'll put
I
it
got
there.
a
Yeah,
plethora story of you for you guys to know.
goodbye any sponsorships that they could come up in the future, but yeah. We'll live living on the street next. We'll be relying on Patreon and tips for the rest of our lives. But yeah, we'll bring it up, bro.
Yeah. We'll bring it up, man.
We'll
I'll
bring it up. Fuck it. Yeah,
I'll
fuck
let you
it.
know. Like, if you guys want to know like the really weird stuff Isaiah and I did in college,
There's
we'll
more
let
Mark
you.
than me, but yeah, let's do it.
Let's see.
All right, fuck this. We'll see you guys next week,
We'll see
and
you guys next.
thank you for joining us. Hit and subscribe, and we hope to see you soon. Later, guys.
Peace.